Good evening, family. Welcome to Estrategias Militares. We are live right now. Earthquake in Mindanao, Philippines. Footage of the moment. So incredible. We're seeing it right now. We're live here on Military Strategies. There is material damage. This is interesting. At first, it was said that it was a magnitude 9 earthquake that would be extremely strong. It would be super horrible. Thank God. The intensity of that earthquake has been downgraded on the entire scale. But there is material damage. There is a tsunami warning. That's true. There is a tsunami warning. That's a 100% guaranteed factor. Right now, there is concern in several places, not only in the Philippines. A tsunami could happen at any moment. More images. You can see the fish tanks there with the water moving.
More images.
Of course, you have to understand something. The place where this happened is not easy to access. And you'll see why. The Philippines has more than 3,000 islands, I think. That's right, and that's just crazy. What happens over there is complicated. So I'm going to show you the map of where this is happening right now. Here we are. Now, sorry, I'm super tired. I'm exhausted today. I'm really exhausted tonight, but we have to do this. Where did this happen? The earthquake occurred in this area here, about 35 kilometers deep. Well, according to Boom. The latest report says this earthquake occurred at about 55.2 kilometers deep. An earthquake in the Cabalan area. This area we see here, they are seeing aftershocks. Yes, there are aftershocks. Aftershocks of 6.1, 6.0. When the strongest earthquake happens, which is the first one, well, the one that happens after several aftershocks, it's this one, which is the 7.8. There usually isn't one that's bigger. There usually isn't. What happens is that the plate that has collided or fractured is settling into its new position. And there are usually other second or third movements, or secondary ones, over days, weeks, even months. But the images are here pinned. There, we see the action of that movement, which also lasts quite a long time. Look, the movement lasts quite a while, but this is hard to predict. At first, it was said 9, it's something very, very strong. It's quite intense for a region like Mindanao. The houses are not made of good materials. They're not well built, and that can cause serious problems. Very, very serious. Within the estimated intensity, it's at number 6, which means it's strong. Right now, there's a process underway to review the intensity of this earthquake. We still don't know all the details. But please, we're live right now, family. Likes and comments bring in the military. Breaking news. Mindanao. We're seeing scenes of panic in the city right now. A supermarket has collapsed. Let's hope no one is inside. A halibut. There's also something that needs to be population of the Philippines and the surrounding region. They're quite used to it. That's why there are images where people are very calm about it. There's no widespread panic about this, although there are some images where there is, which we'll see now. But in general, the population knows very well what to do. It's like in Mexico where it's always shaking, but it's the same in the Philippines too. As part of that region with very strong seismic activity, what do we mean by quite strong seismic activity? I'm going to share an image with you so that you can understand. Area of tectonic plates or faults where seismic activity is common. You're going to see it here on this show. Take a look at this. This is where the earthquake occurs. All this area here, the coastal area. Well, it just changed. Look. There was a 6.5 for Mindanao a few seconds ago, 5.1. It's happening right now. There are earth movements happening right now in the area. This line you see passing through here is the plate itself, or that line, or that fault we're seeing here, which has moved. It now happened at 55 kilometers based on the latest estimate. It was first 30, but has decreased further, which is good. The deeper it is, the better. An earthquake with a magnitude of 6 at just a few kilometers deep causes a lot of damage. An earthquake with a magnitude of 7 at 100 kilometers deep causes less damage. You need to consider both factors to fully understand this. This is the area we're looking at where it happened. And here the forecast is for intensity. 6. 6. This is the area where it happened. Then we moved on to a zone 5. 5, this would already be zone 4, zone 3. The places where it has been felt, where there have been reports that this earthquake has been felt. What is another problem? The problem is that now there could be a tsunami. There is a tsunami alert, although the depth is great. So there will be waves. But not the waves that we saw in Bangladesh, in that great earthquake, in the earthquake in Thailand. What about this area? Indonesia, when that major earthquake happened, that tsunami that left so many victims. There is an alert. There will be waves, I insist, but I don't think, or I don't have the feeling that there will be a mega tsunami. I'm clear on this. Let's not dramatize it since it's serious. I don't think so. The problem with this type of earthquake is this. The type of housing. The houses are not prepared for tremors. They don't have any kind of systems for seismic movements. They can collapse. It's a death trap. These are countries with a lot of poverty, where they can't afford to have earthquake-resistant infrastructure. But the intensity in this case, even if it's small, can cause a lot of damage. We're seeing it. Look at how it's moving. I mean, the man just casually steps out onto the balcony as if nothing was happening. And well, the camera cut off. I think this happened at 7:38 in the morning. Philippines time. We keep watching videos. It's a main street in the same area. Not all cities have seen it the same way. Not all cities have suffered brutal destruction. But we can. We can see, or we can appreciate what I'm talking about. It starts shaking and people notice. They begin pointing and noticing things. But in general, there aren't any scenes of panic. It's because they're pretty used to it, except here. Here. This is an area close to the coast. It's complicated, isn't it? It's complicated because they're extremely poor. Well, they have to deal with these kinds of things. Let's watch more scenes. This earthquake and more video. I understand that they're all from this event, although there have been small tremors in that area for several days. Several tremors are happening in that area. And it keeps going too. This means emergency teams now have a huge job ahead. Super huge. To carry out rescue operations, salvamento, secure the structures. Now we have to secure the structures so they don't collapse. The ones that haven't collapsed yet. And that's a job. Engineers and architects must go assess the situation. Thank you. Universities and schools have been evacuated as children were arriving. It's chaos in that area right now. With everything that's happening right now. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's watch more videos that we have prepared here. Live now on estrategias militares with the family. Super exhausted, super tired. But here we are, 9,000 people. We're missing a lot of likes right now with the breaking news. Earthquake. The earth has shaken in the Philippines. And there are some pretty worrying scenes. We still don't have confirmation of any personal injuries. There aren't any, but it's likely that there will be. Mother, you have to cover your head with a chair, which isn't a bad idea, considering the situation you're in. Of course, because the ceiling is falling down, there are some pieces coming down. All right, guys. You see broken glass and collapsed buildings. A lot of panic in the scenes. No, it's not easy to be in an earthquake like that, especially if the earthquake has lasted or is lasting a long time when it occurs. That makes people even more nervous. It's not the same to have a small tremor as it is to have shaking for several seconds. And that's when you can really face a serious problem. The aftershocks continue. I repeat, the aftershocks are still happening. We'll see them soon on military strategies. There are likely Spaniards currently in the Philippines. Watching all this and following it closely. Let's see something. Look at this. A detail that I think might be interesting, precisely in what we're talking about right now. Let's see. We have it prepared here. 1 second, family. We're on it. You know, always live. No recordings. There we have it. That's the situation right now. And I want to highlight something. The pattern we discussed is being fulfilled. Thank God. First earthquake. Jose, Abad Santos City. Take your right now. Replica 6.4 right now. We have it. 7.8, 6.1, 6.0, 4.8, 5. And again, a big earthquake, 6.4. Again, in the same area. It seems that this line is very active right now. Depth of this last earthquake, 72 kilometers. All right, that's positive. The shallower it is, the more damage and danger. The deeper it is, the better. More videos. We have more videos. The president of the country has just ordered a broad response after this earthquake. I insist on this. The issue of the tsunami, which is something that people in that area may also be very concerned about. If we look at the map, we'll see the options that could happen from there, from that area. Which countries could be affected, which countries a wave or some kind of wave could reach. Obviously, it could hit this whole area that we see here. Here, this area that we see here as well can be hit. Some kind of waves could even reach the coast of Australia. It could also reach there. But I'd bet on it even more. Well, the area of Cambodia could be affected by this area here. Vietnam could also be affected in some way. I'd still say, I don't think a big tsunami will occur, at least not from that earthquake. Another earthquake could still happen. It could happen with another one, but let's hope not. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news right now. This is unbelievable. And I wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to go to sleep. Mother of God. Breaking news. Breaking. The Embassy of the United States of America. Attention. In Jordania. It says as follows. Reports have been received indicating that missiles, drones or rockets are in Jordanian airspace. Seek overhead cover and shelter in place immediately. Stay indoors and pay attention to local announcements and alerts. Sario. The United States Embassy in Jordan will continue to assess the situation and provide additional information as necessary. Unbelievable. The famous drones or rockets are coming. Israel still can't respond. Earthquake. Who can get through there? Well, what could happen is that if any of these drones manage to get past the anti-air defense ring, it could reach Israel. What do we have right now? Well, take a look at this. We have right now three tanker planes currently refueling, a fairly significant Air Force group over the skies of Jordan. This means, therefore, that those drones have been tracked. There must be an AWACS right now. There is a Q4 that is returning from the Strait of Hormuz and has been there carrying out its routine mission. But right now, the action is in this area here. If these drones have been launched, and they also have to be through this sector, which could draw attention to the fact that maybe those drones were headed to the south of Israel. If we are seeing these tanker planes in these areas, although some of them seem to be returning from the operations area routinely, others seem to be in this area, and that this is their sector right now. In defense matter, does Israel know how many drones are coming? Surely they do know. But now they have to hunt them down, and they're flying at a very low altitude. So right now, while we're talking, there's a battle in the skies. Thank you. There's a battle in the skies right now. So family, everyone pay attention to what happens tonight. Thank you very much for being here with us for this breaking news about the earthquake. We hope there are no fatalities. We hope everyone is okay. Thanks for your super chat and for joining us in this and the previous show. Please share it. It's the best way to fight censorship. See you in the next show here on Estrategias Militares. Greetings.